check this one out. I probably should have started these videos sooner. Took me 2 hours to get these two little nuts off. Well, an hour. This was still a little stiff, but hey, I'm not going to lose the studs. I'm not going to have to replace them. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit more, and I'll go through that carburetor. But today is the day that we take the valve cover off to see what's under there. I got the nuts out. I got her loose. That was a little bit, because he's siliconed the gasket on both sides. You're only supposed to silicone it to the lid. Now, we're going to take this off, and we're going to see what we see. Are we going to see a pile of sludge? Are we going to see rust? I don't know. But, here we go, man. We're going to take this off, and we're going to pour oil over the shaft, and down the lifters, down the push rods, down into the lifters, which are solid lifters, and they're sitting on cam lobes. So we're going to oil it up with some 530 oil that I use in my foreign car. We're going to lube it up here. We're going to take the spark plugs out, and I got this stuff called Zoom oil that you use for doing sewing machines and things. It's a lighter oil than this 530, and we're going to squirt a little dab in each cylinder, and we're going to let it sit for 2 days. This thing's oil has been sitting in the bottom of this thing. Last time this thing was registered was 2012. So it's probably been 2010, maybe even 2008 before they even ran the thing. But we're going to go ahead and do all this lube up, let it drain for 2 days, change the oil filter because it hasn't been ran. In all of that time, all of the oil has been drained out. All the sludge is in the bottom. We're going to get rid of that filter, drain the oil, put a new filter in, new oil, and then we're going to do a compression check, which is put the battery in and turn this thing over, because it does move. It does move back and forth with ease with the plugs in. So we're going to take the spark plugs out. We'll let it drain down of the oil that I put in there. That way we don't get a false reading on my vacuum test, and it'll lube up the cylinders because the rings haven't moved, but maybe an inch at the most, if that. Well, not even that. I would say 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, either way, up and down. Since all of that time, it was just me putting the belt on that caused us to move that, and I noticed it, and I said, okay, cool, we got movement. And we're going to go ahead and do this. So here we go. Of course, I got everything out of the way. You pick her straight up. You pull her like this, up and out and away. And man, look what I am seeing. I tell you what, there ain't no sludge. There's minute little bits of stuff here. Like I might have knocked in a little piece of mouse shit. But I can get that out of there right now with this little pair of needy nose. I'll just crush it between the tips, that way I know it all comes out. Yeah. There we go. Now, I'm serious. Minute little amount of sludge. I'm seeing no rust. Got a little bit, boy, these things are perfect. I can tell just by the amount of slop that's in this one right here, because we're right about just past number 1, which would be, this is my exhaust, which means it's up. This one's an exhaust, it's up. This one's an exhaust, it's an intake. It's up. This one here, woo-hoo. See? They gotta clatter. They gotta do that because they're not hydraulic lifters. They're solid lifters, and you have to adjust these with a feeler gauge. And I'm telling you right now, these are nice. It's gonna clatter just right. You get just enough oil. See, we've got one back there. These are the ones you adjust right now. Once you get it up to top dead number 1, these are the ones you're gonna adjust. The ones that you're hearing loose, because they're already loose, you got to get them just right. But I'm not going to mess with that, man. I'm going to oil this thing up, put a new gasket in. When I go to do all of this, do a compression check, and if everything looks good, I'm going to put the plugs back in, get a new fuel pump, rebuild that carburetor, and I can drop a hose right off the pump down into a can of gas. That way I still got to drain the bad gas out of the tank. It's about an inch and a half in the bottom of that tank. I got to drain that out. But there is no rust on this shaft. Zero. I don't know if y'all can see that. I can. But I'll help you out a little bit more here. I'll give you another shot from another angle so you can see the reflection of all that nice steel shining, no rust. This is phenomenal. This engine is going to run. And just in case you didn't get it that way, we'll look at it this way. Nope, and then we'll go this way. But hey, it's me, and I'm back at it. Hey, if it's an old car, I can do this. But that thing, it took me 3 hours to do the freaking ass starter on that thing, and I'm telling you right now, I got cuts all up and down both arms and hands. And hey, my check engine light went out. That's because I took the positive cable off. Boom, bingo, it's fixed. Alrighty, kids, have fun. This is me and my gnarly. Here, let me help you out here, man. I mean, we haven't done this at all with a video, so we're gonna try this a little bit, just a hair. Oh, and technically, since I've already seen that, we're gonna go ahead and put this back on. And it just slips right in the same way you took it out, at an angle. Bingo. It'll sit there all night. Well, till I get the Earl put on it. But let me close this hood, man. Wait till you see this. This is beauty. Look at this beautiful straight. Yeah, it'd be straight as long as I take that board out of there. Yep. Oh, yeah. Bingo. Hey, now we got it. Watch this. Closes like a new hood. Doesn't bounce up and down. Look at that beautiful thing. Ain't that pretty? Oh, in case you don't really notice. That is a 1962 K20 four-wheel drive. Arr. This is the bad dog of Chevy trucks. Alrighty, there you go, man. We're gonna find that little button. You remember those other videos? It was always trying to find that arrow out here in the sunlight. Peace. Hey, it's me again. Lubie time. Figured I better say. It's called Lubie. And we're just gonna start back here. Real nice and easy like. So don't want to make too big of a mess. And we're just gonna kind of dribble it on each one of these. See, it'll get in the hole. There's a hole in the shaft, and it goes to the bearing surface that's underneath. Now see, I'm doing the valve stem too, and I'm doing all this rocker shit. Once I get this, and it'll run down, if I do this right, I'll have enough oil. But it'll run down on all the lifters and everything. Yeah, I'll make a little bit of a mess, but hey, it's better than starting a dry engine. This thing's been sitting for so long that it's a hair dry. Not a hair dryer, just a hair dryer. We got a half a quart, so that's what we're putting on the shaft. What runs down will fill in the little dipples on the push rods that are underneath the little nuts, so we ain't going to be having dry push rods when this thing turns over. This oil's nice and thin, so fill that little channel up in these holes that are right here, 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 in each one of those. Now here's a big one. This is a big hole. This is your main oiler. That was a big hole. There's only two of them right there. The rest of them are all little ones. And we're gonna make sure that every one of these has Earl. Because if that little push rod looks dry to me, it tells me we ain't got enough going down. Now it's not like in 58 years this engine ain't had Earl put on it outside. But we're gonna keep doing this until I see oil that I know is running down a push rod. Because that means it's hitting the top of the push rod and it's going all the way to the lifter. All the way out to the end. Yep. Everything gets. All the little journal joints. It hasn't seen this much oil in years. Springs, it all needed Earl. Half quart, 530. There you go. Empty. But you see where it went. Safety. That's key right there. This is one of the most vital parts of this engine. This right here. You'd be surprised. And I think we got her good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back on. Look at the inside of this thing. No sludge. That is unbelievable. It's been taken care of. The old man that had this car, now I'm second owner. And I'll tell you what, the other day when I was working on taking that carburetor bolts off, now I'm gonna give you a little of that spiritual stuff. I'm working right here, working these bolts off. Air filter sitting right here. A little bird lands on the air filter, squawks and looks at me as I'm working on the truck. You know, that bird was Spirit. So there we go. Peace, it's me. Hey, I'm serious. It's me again. Bye. Hey kids, it's me again. We're gonna do something here that a lot of you, man, can't even get to on your cars. But watch this. This is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Firing order, that's a quick one. Rotates this way in the cap. This is number 1. So the next one in line is going to be number 5, number 3. See, so you get that? So it's going to go 1, 5, 3, 6, 4, 2. Now I'm going to show you exactly how that goes on this cap. So we have 1, 5, 3, that's this one, 3, 6, it's back one, 6, 4, wait a minute here, wait a minute here, 1, 5, 3, 6. Oh, we got these backwards. Oh, we got these two backwards. I'll prove that to you. I got it written down. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, man. It's been 40 years since I ever got underneath one of these things. Well, let's see here. Well, maybe he got it right. Cause here's firing order. Okay, so what we got is 1, 5, 3, 6. That says 6, 2, 4. That's what he had. I was wrong. He would have misfired if I'd have tried to start it. Putting him back on my way. That's where I'm better than this mechanic in town named OB. He screwed my car up. Okay? But I read the book. I do research first. So here's number one. Now here, a lot of cars you can't pull these off. But because they've been on there so long, you want to do this. You want to twist and pull. That's number one. So you don't miss out where number one is. You take it off the cap too. That's the only one you got to do that too, because you got to know where it's at, so you can line your pointer up of your rotor, which is under the cap. It ain't one of those automatic jobs, you know. Okay, we got that out. It took a little bit of work, but we got it out. That's number one. I will sit right here. And of course I know the routine now, so I can just take them all off. I know the firing order. I'm going to take them all off. See how I'm twisting and they pop. Twist and pop. You can't do that on some cars. You can't get down there and grab a hold of them. That wasn't the plug. That was it coming undone. Look at all that rat and cat hair on it. Yee. So this is where we pop the plugs out. And each one we're going to lay on the counter over here in the order I take them out. And we're going to look at them. What we don't want to see is a super clean plug. I mean one that looks like it's brand new, because that'd tell you it had water in the cylinder. Blasted that plug clean. You don't want them to see them corroded out big old black either, but you know, they want to burn kind of a nice tan color like this dirt that's sitting up on top of this. So here we go. We're going to go on. You know, now we're going to turn that so it goes the right way. And to be honest with you, I'm not so partial to an extension, especially with a rocker already and a ratchet. So as you see how I'm going to go the angle there? I'm not going to force it by pulling it up or any of that, but I am also just going to go like this. Easy loose. Yeah, we like that. That's one. That's another. We just don't want them to be stuck in there and never come out. But I think they're all going to come out. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Hey, y'all taking lessons? Good. Yeah. My first car was a 1962 Chevy truck with the smaller of the engines. Well, it's the middle range. I had a 235. This is a 261. And these are all going to come out real nice. There we go. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and start taking them out. Because once they get loose enough, you can just go like that. You can't do that on them little foreign jobs, man. Ooh, she be a crusty black oily. Crusty black oil. Might be bad rings, might be valve guides. Who knows? But I'll try to be fast because I want to shorten the videos a little. Looks just like the other one. Okay. Could be fuel mix too. It was designed to run on leaded regular gasoline. They took the lead out. That one looks the same as the other. Now this is giving me a good, this is saying good, positive. Because they're all looking the same. Ain't seen nothing different yet. They may be crusty oily, but that could just be that, you know, it needed to, you know, might have every one of them looking the same. So far. As we get to the back cylinder, that's the one. That's the one that's going to tell. That's the one that gets least coolant out of the water system that runs to keep it cool, and it's also the farthest back in a hole. They Take it easy, since this has got a knobby on the toppy. Now, normally I'd be over there where you're at, leaning over that nice narrow fender well to do this, but I figure, why change the angle of the dangle? Oh my God, another one looks just like the other. Oh man, this is phenomenal. Now I can take those plugs and clean them too. People don't realize that one time they used to sell these, you probably still can get them, these little sand blasters that would clean your plug, just like the one the guy in the shop has. What I usually do though is I just take a little gasoline and a wire brush, since these things run on gas anyway. Gasoline will clean just about any of these. A little wire brush, you get all that black junk off, put it back in, and it'll fire right up. Yay. Here we go. Number 6. Last one back. Least coolant of all of them. Oh, she's not quite as wet, but she's black. She'd be black like that, and like I said, not quite as wet. The rest of them are all a little more wet than that, and I'll prove it to you. There's number 6. There's number 5, and they're black. But I tell you right now, he was probably running a little rich on his carburetor. Valve guides, good possibility of that. Oil getting in the cylinders, but hey, with the gas they got these days, that's not a bad thing. So there you go. No water. Not a one of those has water in them. No rust on the plug, no blasted clean. They all were identical. Now, here's our little trick to make sure. This is the good stuff. It's called Zoom. Kind of light. And it's made for, I'll read it all here, highest quality, finest all-purpose lubricating oil. Oils everything that needs to be oiled. Okay, telescoping spout. That's this thing. It means I can get down there and just pump it right on into the hole, get it where I want it. Highest quality turbine lubricating oil, certified, ideal for use on industrial equipment, electric motors from 1/3 horsepower to 5 horsepower, shop tools, bushings, bearings, shafts, and virtually all kinds of mechanical linkages. Directions: slowly pull the plastic tube straight up until a positive stop is felt. In other words, right there. Alrighty. But problem is, doing that, you got to have a full bottle, and it doesn't work that way, see? I got to keep it down in the bottle, just off the bottom, so it pumps what I need when I squeeze. Okay, so there you go. Has a part number, American made in LA by a company called Armite. And it got this cool little guy, man, with his big old muscles going out there, you know. And so my other option is to try it this way too. You can take it like this all the way up, turn it upside down. Now here we go, number 1, in the hole first. Shove her way back to the back. 2 little short squirts. I can guarantee you something got in it. All the way to the back. 2 little squirts. Something got in it. Now here's where we got to get tricky. I got to see the hole. That means I got to get down here and see the hole. That one's down, that piston. But you get it against the wall and it'll do whatever. You just want some in there. Spend a couple of days, let it push around, because you're giving it 2 squirts. 2 squirts is a bit. And just to prove you, I'll show you 2 squirts. That's like 2 little drips. It's probably not enough, huh? Yeah. Here's where fun comes. You got to get up on the grill to get to that other one. Those other 2. because they're back behind the coil. And you don't want to be pushing rat shit in. You can't see. It means you got to really get down in here and hope you can get her. Use your fingertip if you have to. Find that hole. There we go. We got a hole. And we're going all the way back to the back one. Find the hole. Shove her back in there. Now, I'm seriously considering doing every one of them again, because I don't think I was getting enough in there. I know I am now, because I seen how it was going. It's a light oil, so it'll drain down through the rings in time, but also when I go to turn it over, and I'm going to pump the oil out of the cylinders before I go putting the there we go. It's got oil in there, not a lot, whereas some of those squirt guns, they'd be shooting a big old stream. This just put a few good drips. Alrighty, now here comes fun, trying to reach down and back down to that brick. Found it. The brick. No, it's not another brick in the wall. And if you really listen to the word, it probably, I could get really vulgar, but what it sounds like to me is another in the wall, in the hole, you know, another in the hole, you know. Okay, now we got to find a little red cap. There it is, there it is. I've been packing this stuff around for years, man. It's the greatest oil I've ever found for doing these kind of things. Alrighty. So, kids, now here comes the clicker. You don't want to leave it open. Just screw these back in a couple of notches. And once you get them in, turn the shoe. That's all you need, because you're going to be taking them out in another day or so. 2 days is what I want to give it, a 2-day wait. Seriously. I sure hope that ain't me doing that. Definitely has a dent in it. Could be me leaning on it. Who knows? Could have been somebody else. Let's just say it was somebody else. But I've been leaning on that thing there for days now. Here we go, here we go, here we go! We're on the other side of life. Right in the hole. Boy, I'm good at them plug things. Oh, look at that. I got that right hair down in there. Nice. Hey, it's only hair, man. I can guarantee it, it'll burn up. First flame off in that freaking cylinder, man. Okay. R44s. I got to write that down. Because it probably took him a while to, you know, but I think just a tad hotter plug, so you can go hotter or colder on those numbers. You can go to a 45 or a 46, you know, or you can go down to a 43 or a 42 or whatever. One way is hotter, one way is colder on the plug, and with that much oil, you might want a tad bit hotter plug to burn it out cleaner. But I'm going to tell you right now, I want to show you my Smog Device. You're going to love it. You're going to love the Smog Device on this car. Don't be mad. I don't care what kind of environmental person you may be. I'll take you for a ride on my 4-wheel drive, and you'll have a different attitude about life. Yeah, number one playing games here. What are you? Why? Come on now. Alright, so Smog Device, I don't know if you can actually see it. I might be able to see it if I can see my hand. That right there, that thing there that pops out of the bottom of this crankcase goes into a little tube. See the tube? See the tube? Oh, can you see the hole? Hey. I mean, hole, that's what it is. It's a tube. It just drops right out to the bottom and blows out all that smog right away from this thing. I don't have to worry about no smog as I go right on down the road. Hey, It's me again. There you go, man. You got to see it done. So did I, because I'm going to go in and watch the video too. You don't think I watch these videos? I think it's a great joke, man. I can post these bad dogs and everybody will laugh at me. Yeah. But you get out here and try to do what I have to do here. This is fun. This is what I went to school for. 2 years of vocational school in high school, and a year of college of heavy equipment, and years of keeping my Chevelle going, and whew, Chevys, baby.